There we go. Okay. Let's finally get this thing started. I am Roxx Weltraum, and I am here to teach you how to survive Hulkageddon. Yay! Alright, Zets, no talking in the mumble thing because I have voice to talk turned on, and then you'll appear, or that weird female voice will appear on the recording. I guess I should probably go over the general chat rules. No talking in mumble, all chit-chatty in class, yada yada yada. There will be a little Q&A. There will be a little Q&A session at the end where you can tell your Hulkageddon stories if you have any, or ask any questions. Other than that... Oh, and if you key up, I'll kill you. Very well, now that that's out of the way, let's get started. First off, we should probably talk about what Hulkageddon is, because it's hard to defend against something you don't know about. Hulkageddon is essentially GankCon, GankFest, and Gank Open Hunter Season all rolled into one big brouhaha. It is the Ganker Festival of the year. It is when Gankers get together and go wail on helpless miners. Hulkageddon was started back in 2009, and it was a coordinated suicide gank organized by the pirate Helicity Bosun, who she is still doing to this day. Basically what will happen is Hulkageddon will start. People will donate prizes to Hulkageddon, and then those prizes will be distributed either however the administration sees fit, or if there were any special instructions attached to the prizes. If you look on the Hulkageddon website, there are some very odd ones, including, I think there's one for killing a mining barge with a tormentor, which will be a very hard prize to get. After the Hulkageddon in 2009, in September of 2009, Hulkageddon 2 was announced. Hulkageddon 2 was announced in December, and was participated by 800 people, and about 1,800 ships were destroyed. And then, of course, due to the runaway success of that, there was Hulkageddon 3. I think, if I remember correctly, they got about 8,000 ships destroyed in that one. Yes, this is a lot of ships. However... Oh, wait, no, that's the next part. Why should you fear Hulk? Easy. They want to blow you up. And they don't care if you're sitting in high sec. They are all suicide gankers, and you should probably even fear it a little bit more this time, but I'll cover that in a few minutes. However, Hulkageddon isn't as bad as it seems. We haven't lost a lot of miners to Hulkageddon over the years. And this is because even though they may blow up about 8,000 ships, in the whole grand total of the entire massive mining fleet that exists in EVE, that's not all that much. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are literally hundreds of thousands of mining barges out there. So, while you should be cautious, don't be utterly paranoid. That's reserved for other more important things, like mining and rancer, which is also known as suicidal. Well, back in the day when Hulkageddons were first starting, you were only targeting just mining barges and exhumers and that sort of thing. The problem is, today, they have extended the range of accepted targets to include industrials, noctises, and primae. So, yes, your industrial is no longer safe, and neither is your noctis. I have said suicide ganking, but some of you may not know what suicide ganking is. Suicide ganking is the art, and yes, it is an art, of attacking and destroying someone's ship in HiSec, knowing fully well that you will be Concord-dokened into oblivion. Now you may say, well, why the heck would someone do this? Well, suicide ganking can actually be fairly profitable. Most professional suicide gankers, just during regular periods, will target freighters or anyone carrying expensive cargo such as blueprints or blueprint originals or mission runners. And the reason they do this is because when they blow up this freighter or hauler or mission runner, they have a chance of getting whatever was in their cargo hold. And freighters just carry a huge amount of ISK in their holds, along with a mission runner, a marauder, a faction-fit marauder. Just one of those faction modules can be worth over 300 million. And if that drops, hey, pay dirt. Now, how do you suicide gank? Well, it's actually pretty simple. You grab a ship, but just not any ship will do. It has to be a ship that is A, cheap, well, relatively cheap, B, insurable, so no Tech 2 ships, and 3, have a lot of gank. Popular suicide ganking ships include the Thrasher. The Thorax is a very popular suicide ganking ship, along with the Brutix and the Armageddon. Basically anything that can fit a lot of damage modules has a very good damage bonus and can fit a lot of guns. I do say guns because guns are more popular due to the fact that they do instant damage, as opposed to the flight time for missiles. However, that isn't to say that missiles will not work, it's just that they aren't as popular. A regular old suicide gank will usually happen when you're traveling through gates. What'll happen is they'll have 2 points on a pipe setup so that you have to pass through them. First will be a person who scans you and sees what's on your ship. And then a couple of jumps down the line will be the actual gank people waiting. And once they find someone, they'll wait down there and they'll jump you. Note that they will jump you on after you've landed from a gate, not before you jump through a gate. There will be some idiots who try and gank you before you jump through a gate, and you can just jump through and laugh at them because they have aggression, they can't follow you, and they just lost you. However, this sort of gate ganking used not to be much of a problem. However, now since industrials and noctises, which do travel, have been included, this will probably be more of a common occurrence during this Hulkageddon. However, usually during Hulkageddon, what you'll see is an increase in belt ganking. Usually don't see this during regular time because there's not much profit to be gained in blowing up Hulks. I mean, sure, you get whatever ore they've mined, but it's usually a lot better to go for a freighter if you're going to go for ore. So during Hulkageddon, you will see an increase in belt ganking, and during this one in particular, you'll probably see a lot more gate ganking as well. Now that I've covered some of the general background into Hulkageddon, yes, I had almost forgotten about that, Mendel. The PI custom offices may be staked out for ganking as well. Some people might forget about that, but a few enterprising Hulk gankers may actually stake them out, so do be careful. I should probably get on to the meat of the class now, which is how not to die during Hulkageddon, and which is why you're all here. I need to stop talking so fast. My stuff that I want to show you is getting lagged behind. Okay. First off, the number one rule of how not to die during Hulkageddon is mine aligned. If you are aligned, you can just jump out easily. The problem is that your big old fat mining barge takes an eternity to align. And so, if you're caught and you're not aligned, you're gonna die. Oh, caveat for those people who have joined in, there will be a little kind of mini practical along with a surprise for everyone. It won't damage you guys, but I will have a lot of fun doing it. So just get to all jet as fast as you can. Another way to not die during Hulk is use local and descan liberally. During Hulkageddon, you should probably be mining in some little backwater system where it's only you and about 8 other people. Or not even 8, only 2 or 3. Why did I say 8? So eventually you get to know those 2 or 3 people, and you know who is usually in that system. So when you see someone jump in that has a completely different name and you don't know who they are, you know this guy might be a ganker. I should probably be a little wary. And then you can set your D-scan to about 1 AU out, and if you see someone starting to come to you, you can just start warping away. It gives you a little advance notice. This may seem a little redundant, but I should reiterate this. If someone does land on grid with you, there is no shame in warping out and docking up. Especially if it's a popular ganking ship. If it's just a hauler or another mining barge, you probably don't have to worry about them. But if a warship jumps in, you'll probably want to get out of there just pretty darn quick. You do have a few seconds between when someone actually lands on grid and when they can fire at you. And if you are aligned, you can use those few seconds to jump out. There's someone sitting at this belt. Yes, this is also a little fun thing you can do if you're ever bored. Warp in with a popular ganking ship to a belt and watch everyone scatter. I do this sometimes. This is something that will not help very much during gate ganking, but does stand... Well, actually, this is kind of a last-ditch effort. It doesn't really help much during gate ganking, but it can help somewhat more in belt ganking. I am reading my notes way too wrong. But it is kind of last-ditch effort, but can sometimes help, and this is ECM. If you have ECM drones in your cargo bay, your drone bay, you can just deploy them, have them try and attack, and if they actually are able to stop them, great. It's kind of a last-ditch effort thing, but it does stand a chance of working. This is kind of a gray area on what not to do and what to do, but logistics. Logistics will not help you during gate ganking unless they have you locked 24/7, and they won't be able to out of warp. The reason is the ganker will be planning on destroying you within 10 seconds. At least alphaing you in 1, maybe 2 shots. And I see someone just ran from me. Whoever did that, very good. I was in a Brutix, which is a very popular ganking ship. However, you do have nothing to fear from me. Logistics don't help much during gate ganking because the logistics ship does have to lock you, then start repairing you. And you'll probably be dead before he can get his first cycle off. However, during belt ganking, this may actually work because the logistics ship can have you permanently locked and just start repping you as soon as the ganker appears on grid. So this is something to consider, but don't rely on it. Alright, now what not to do. These are a couple of very stupid things that most gankers will laugh at. And they do seem like a good idea, but they just won't help. First off, super tanking your miner. This will not help. There have been people who do put faction tank modules on their miner thinking that it will keep them alive long enough. It will not. The ganker will be expecting you to have a somewhat higher tank and will have enough gank accordingly. And to be honest, those faction modules on a miner don't do much at all. He will just laugh and maybe be able to loot, or have his little buddy who's probably with him loot the faction modules, and you will just have given him 300 billion ifs for killing you. Drones will other than ECM drones, will not work very well against a ganker. Do not bump me. I'm here for a reason. A normal alpha that gankers will put out, they will expect to alpha you in one shot. Depending on their prey, they will adjust accordingly. Usually, there'll be about 4 thrashers in a group, and each one can alpha about 1,000. So that's about 4,000. Yeah, if you got to Uldrat, warp to Uldrat 9, belt 3 at 0. Enough time. Probably about 5-10 minutes. Alright, back to drones. Drones won't help very much because they will not be able to kill your attacking ganker before he's able to kill you. He will just be completely loaded for gank. While those little drones, while they may be able to take care of belt rats, will not be able to even probably get through a quarter of his tank. And since you've just launched your drones, they stand no chance of being destroyed, and you just gave them a bunch of Tech 2 drones, which will probably pad his wallet by another 5 million. And there is one more thing that people do seem to think will work that does not work at all. And this is escorts. This is whether you're belt ganking or whether you're experiencing a belt gank or a gate gank, they won't help. All those 15 battleships that are escorting you will do is just completely sit there useless. The reason being is that the gankers, like I said, will be expecting to alpha you in 1 or 2 shots. And those battleships will have to lock them and actually start firing, and by that time, you'll probably already be dead. Logi escort, if you're in a belt, will probably help, as long as he has you permanently locked and ready to start revving you as soon as someone appears on grid. And just traveling around, warping from system to system, no. You'll be dead before your logistics can lock and start revving you. One more thing I just thought of that actually does help is webs. If you have an escort flying with you that has webs, he can web you and you can warp a lot faster. This is a trick that a lot of freighters use in order to warp faster. This is pretty much the only way an escort will be able to help you traveling, is for him to web you and allow you to just warp out. Yes, Weber does need to be from your corp, though, or else they will get Concord tokened, and that'll be no fun. All right, who's not in Aldrat? Go ahead and X up in class. No fleet, no fleet. Ooh, a couple of you. How far away are all of you? Just put up a number in class. Whew, some of you are far. Do you guys really want to practice your scattering? Well, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to scatter. I am going to warp off, and I am going to warp in. And if anyone stays on grid for more than 5 seconds, you're dead. This is just to illustrate the fact that there is time between when you see me on your overview that you can warp out. So everyone who's on Jet, pretend like you're mining. Do your little good mining things that you should do. Align. And I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Oh, and by the way, because I can, right now I am a very rich suicide ganker. I have many buddies with me who all want to kill everyone. Right now we are in a suicide gank fleet of 50 legions, 100 Tengus, 80 Proteuses, and 3 Lokis. We all want to kill you, and we're all completely willing to get these Tech 3 cruisers blown up. All right. This actually went very quickly. I didn't think it'd go this fast. I was trying to stretch it out a little bit. Rawr, strategic cruisers. And let's see. E-UNI, you're dead. Luke, you're dead. Furiko, you're dead. Mendel, you're dead. Goral Abris, you're dead. Furiko, you're dead again. That is about how much time you have. Not an aligned stop, just completely aligned, up to speed. If you do need to kind of change direction to stay within range of the rock you're mining, just align to something else in that direction. But yes, align, not aligned stop, aligned up to speed. Alright, so why don't everyone come back? That's just to illustrate, how much time you have. Yeah, I saw him. We're not going to gank him. But the whole point was to show you. No, actually, no one warp out because right now, yes, it does only take a few seconds. They will have sensor boosters in their mids, and they will be able to lock you as fast as humanly possible. Damage mods all in their lows. These people don't mess around. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do have a surprise for you. What you are about, I should probably get off this belt because I need to. Oh no, it's something you'll all enjoy. You are all about to witness a suicide gank. Right now, I have my mission alt in system. I would like everyone to go in the local and wave. And I'll go ahead and wave back. That is my mission alt. He's come all the way down from Lone Trek to be a nice little victim. Belt 3, Aldrat 9. And he should be appearing on grid any moment now. The original plan was for me to get an Osprey and tank it to about how much a Hulk would have if you had filled all the mids with tank. However, I didn't have enough time to actually figure out how much that would be and to set it up. I thought I'd have about another hour. So, we'll just have to settle for me blowing up this little shuttle. I will still get Concord tokened. I will still take a security hit. And as a plus side, you will all be able to witness just how Concord works. I will narrate what is happening to me at every stage. And you will all get to see me be blown up into a million little pieces. So yay. Let's give Hojo about a minute. You see, I knew people would love this. I thought about this while I was at work, and I was like, this is going to be awesome. Note that I will take a sex status hit. So this is not something you want to do on your own. I'm willing to do this for education, because I love you all. No one shoot me. If you shoot me, I will go and get my Armageddon, and I will blow you up because you're in Corp and I can do that. Oh, by the way, if any of you blow up either of my pods, my mission alt or this alt, I will also kill you. And I just realized I am in the wrong clone. 1 sec. No, I am destroying my own alt. He has volunteered for this, so... While I'm going to where I need to switch clones, I will go ahead and explain what has happened up to this. Most suicide gankers will operate in pairs, at least. The name of my alt is Roxx Grant. He is sitting with you about 20 kilometers away in a little Caldari shuttle. Roxx Smith, I'm sorry. Roxx Grant was my old mission alt that I got rid of because I didn't like him. Anyway, usually gankers operate in pairs at least. There will be at least one ganker and one person who scouts. The scout is also responsible for picking up any loot that drops and taking it away to be sold. So right now, my scout has been looking at the Aldrat section, looking at the Aldrat system, and he's been going, hey, there's a lot of guys here. And I got my gang together. And we're on our way. Unfortunately, is he in the same corp as us? Well, still. Oh. No, I'm not going to gank your alt, Michael West, unless you volunteer him to be. But actually, no, not even if you volunteer him to me. That may result in some legal implications. This is the only way I can think of, ganking my own alt. There should be an option to auto-pause when you're clone jumping. There we go. Nice, clean clone. Yes, and I shall also have to post the lost mail. There we go. Everyone, please stay away about 20 kilometers away from the shuttle. I do not want anyone to be caught in any sort of crossfire. There won't be, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to explain how I got half my class blown up suicide ganking myself. Although that would be a very interesting report to make. But no, not going to do it. By the way, I have Meta 4. No, wait, no, these are Meta 3 blasters fitted with Federation Navy antimatter. And my lows are all full of magnetic field stabilizers. This thing is loaded for gank. Alright. So I have jumped in system. The rest of you have noticed, oh my gosh, it's Roxx Weltraum, the notorious ganker. He's going to kill us all. And left, except for this little guy who is, we're going to say, in a Hulk. Even though he's in a shuttle. And he's not paying attention to local. He's not paying attention to people screaming, get out, get out, get out. And he's just sitting there, stupid. So my scout locates him, and he's in a cloaky, and what he does is he gets close and gets me a warp in so that I key up during this and I will kill you. Just joking, I won't. But he has gotten very close. He's gotten me a warp in that's right on top of him. And here we go. I will be narrating what happens for posterity. Here comes the ganker. Here comes the ganker. This may go a little slow because I do have to narrate what I'm doing. And I have arrived on grid. I am locking him. Normally this would take a lot slower, but I didn't have time to get everything set up because your Hulk has a massive signature radius. And here we go. Bam! He has now exploded. I now have about 10 seconds, or 7 seconds, before Concorde appears, and here they are. 2 cruisers spawn, they lock me, remove all of my cap, do about 200 damage per second each, and they remove my lock. I am completely useless. And... oh, come on, I should have survived more than that. And there you go. I just got Concorde token. If I had... why is my wreck blue? Because anyone can loot it. No. I don't know. Yeah, you can take the loot if you want. I don't mind. It's disposable income. So, pretty much what happened right there. You saw me die at the hands of 2 Concorde cruisers that had spawned. What the Concorde cruisers do when they spawn is they will lock the target. They will break all locks that the target has. And then they will do about 200 DPS per second each. They'll completely nuke you. And you'll just be sitting there helpless. After about 15 seconds, I thought I'd last that long, but apparently I didn't, a Concorde battleship will spawn. And that battleship will do infinite DPS. It will one-shot you, no matter what you're in, even in a capital ship. I thought I'd survive that long, but I'm sorry I didn't. If there is more than one ganker, 2 Concorde cruisers will spawn for each ganker, and then 1 battleship will spawn for each ganker. However, note that you are not completely safe when the cruisers appear on grid. The Concorde... no, you cannot escape losing a ship, and I'll cover that in a second. But you are not completely safe when the cruisers appear on grid. This is because you can pop a cap booster charge, get a little bit of cap, and blast off smart bombs. That is one way you can do a little bit more damage. But you can pretty much only do that once. No, you cannot escape via Orca Hangar, and this is because you cannot escape having your ship destroyed by Concorde. If you do escape, it is a bannable offense. No exceptions. This is because the whole reason Concorde exists is punishment, not as preventative. They will not be... do not think of them as actual ships. If you do try to warp off, they will chase you. You cannot avoid being destroyed by Concorde. Do not think of Concorde as ships. Think of them... I mean, it'd be completely okay for CCP to just completely make some sort of message appear on screen. This is what you did. This is what's going to happen, and for that to happen. Concorde is just something to immerse you in. Concorde reaction time differs depending on security. In 0.5 systems, it's usually about, I think, 9 seconds. And it gets progressively short at a higher sec. Here it was probably about 6 seconds. I do apologize. I thought I had had enough tank that you would be able to see the battleship, but I guess I didn't. However, if you do want to see this again, I will be blowing myself up again for my paranoia. Oh, the battleship has arrived. Oh, well, that is very nice. Everyone look at the battleship. Wave at the battleship. Know that that battleship could kill you all in an instant. Yeah, I do not recommend shooting the battleship. Very bad thing to do. That is one thing to note. Concorde will stay around after something's been destroyed. I am not entirely sure if using an alt to make Concorde appear is an exploit or not. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I would open a petition and ask if you do want to do that. How much security status did I lose? 0.4, because I did not destroy the pod. You destroy the pod, you'll get a lot more. Okay, so it's not considered an exploit. Concorde will stay, if I believe, about 15 minutes. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. No, 0.4. I am now negative sex status. I will have to bring that back up. Yep. Now you know why professional suicide gankers consider sex status as currency. You'll burn your sex status up as high as you can, and then spend it all making money. I do know they do stay for a while. I'm just not sure exactly how long. Yes, I can. One sec. It's 0.1% loss for when I actually shot at him, and it's a 3.7% loss when I destroyed the ship. And it's an even bigger loss if you destroy the pod. Alright, what I was saying before, if you do want to see me blow myself up again, this will be part of my up-and-coming Paranoia in You class, which I will be doing, not this week, but next week, at my usual time slot of 0200 on Wednesday night. Or Wednesday morning. Night for me. A couple of other tidbits. Me blowing myself up in a suicide gank to show about suicide gankers. I will be pirating myself to show you what a pirate thing would usually go like. So yeah, fun. They will be ganking for Hulkageddon anything that's on the Hulkageddon list. For regular time, not during Hulkageddon, they would gank whatever costs money. Whatever had the most money or chance of drop. Now it's just for points. Yes, it is more or less useless to tank industrials. Badgers, bestowers, they have only about 10,000 EHP, and any ganker worth his salt will be able to alpha that. Or at least try to, in one or two shots. Oh, one sec. Oh, they'll just be ganking anything. Alright, and now that you've seen me blow myself up, and you've seen an actual Concorde in motion, that is the end of the class. It is now, well, that's the end of the actual lecture and practical part. It's now time for the Q&A, or story time. If any of you have any stories about Hulkageddon or anything, just X up with story, and I'll call on you to talk and mumble. Or if you have any questions, just post them in. Viators. Is the Viator the Cloaky or the... No, it's not the Cloaky. No, it is the Cloaky. Okay, yeah. A Cloaky transport ship will just be awesome. You'll be able to break through anything. I really thought there'd be people who had been through Hulkageddon before, but I guess there aren't. Does anyone have any more questions? I still have 4 minutes before my GCC wears off. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording then. Before everyone leaves,